The first case study is really thinking about, irrespective of the accelerated pathway, sometimes we have to go back to move forward in the development pathway. And here is an example of where we've done that patient for a phase 2 molecule. This was with Clovis Oncology. The sponsor started the study with a free base form and a fit for purpose formulation in phase 1. And there was challenges with low exposure and variability. So then additional salt forms were developed, and it was critical to optimize the dosage form to improve the exposure and reduce the variability. Quotient conducted a clinical study in healthy volunteers to compare the free base and the salt form. We had design space flexibility and on-demand GMP manufacturing to look at different formulations. And the outcomes were really that a new formulation was identified with more than a twofold exposure and bioavailability and a reduction in variability by 50%. So a robust phase 3 formulation was identified to move forward into development, and this was done within less than 5 months. So allowing additional time to scale up an initial process robustness. Here is another case study showing the optimization of a formulation prior to phase 3. In this case, the phase 2 formulation contains surfactant and sodium carbonate. And so we needed to improve the processability and reduce mucosal irritation by dropping the level of excipients if possible. So we worked to develop the dosage form and optimize in a healthy volunteer study using design space. And the design space is shown on the right of the slide here. We use design spaces at Quotient in conjunction with a clinical study where we have the flexibility to change critical to performance formulation parameters by submitting data at the corner points or design space to regulatory authorities. When it comes to the conduct of a clinical study, we can dose anything in the middle of the design space. And that really allows us to develop clinically relevant formulation because we can change the composition of the formulation with emerging PK data. So on this particular instance, the PK data was available on the optimal formulation within less than 8 months, and a robust phase 3 formulation was identified.